Women Surveyors Summit. Got that right this time, right? Yep. We've got Heather with us.
Hi.
Heather, thanks for joining us and being our guinea pig here this morning. Real quick, just give us your name, who you're with, and kind of what you do and how you're involved in this event.
Sure. I'm Heather Markley. I'm a senior vice president at LJA Surveying. I'm in the Houston area. I kind of run that group and then support the rest of the U.S. really when it comes down to as far as our surveyors.
Yeah.
As far as the foundation, I'm one of the founders of the foundation. Anna is definitely the heart and soul of the foundation, and I always say I'm kind of the rudder that keeps her going. I tend to be the hammer. I'm the one that has the hard conversations so that Anna gets to shine.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of the background
That's awesome.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I fit in. Yeah, I started when we did our first one in 19, and you know we've been all the way through.
Yeah.
So I've spoke at several of them, and then we've just although we started the foundation, the Women's Survey Summit is like the main part of it. We're also branching out and doing other groups like the Minority Summit and the Prism Group, and we're always looking for where people are underrepresented and just kind of be a conduit for that.
Yeah. So you guys are taking on a lot.
Oh my gosh.
With this.
Yes.
First of all, how do you find the time? That's like what you're describing is like a full-time job in itself.
Absolutely. And I was my son, when he graduated high school, I needed to find something to keep me out of trouble, which is where I got involved with TSPS. And then just kind of being involved in that, I knew that I really wanted to kind of be, in surveying and producing surveying. And then when this came along, it just grabbed my heart, There's times that you do service things because it's the right thing to do. And then you do service things because it speaks to you and it motivates you. So the time, it's just, when you slide it in, you just make it happen.
Well, it's one of those things when you find your passion like
Absolutely.
this, it's like, it's easy to make time for it.
Yeah.
So you've been involved since the beginning. Talk about the evolution of the event. Like how many women showed up at the first one? How many are at this one? Share some background
So
information on that.
when we did the first one, we had no idea how many people were going to show up. We were like, whatever. And it was free. We just had sponsors that covered it. But we didn't have the clue. We didn't know if we were gonna have 10 people or if we were gonna have, whatever. We ended up selling out like in the first day.
Yeah.
Because we put 30 because we didn't know. That was the amount of people that we could get into the Texas GLO General Land Office on their tour. So we said, well, 30 will be it. Well, we ended up doubling that. We talked them into letting us do 2 tours. So we were able to do 60. And then there was a few that kind of came in and we split them, whatever.
Yeah.
So the number on that one is somewhere between 65 and 70. This one today is 174.
Amazing.
And each year it's been more and more. I do all of the background stuff, right? So I do all of the Eventbrite tickets and stuff. And we set that up and say, oh, we're going to have 120 tickets because we had 120 people last year. And then that number just hits. And I call Anna. I'm like, how many more can we have? And she's like, oh, let's set it at 150. I'm like, okay, set it at 150. 2 days later, Anna, we're maxed at that. And she's like, just open it up. We'll figure it out. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord, that's Anna. We will figure it out. And I'm like, we is me. Okay, I got it. I will figure it out. So
That's awesome. And what's been your biggest takeaway, I guess, from this year's event so far? I know we're just kind of getting started, but even like last night was super cool, having all the ladies in the room and having a little social hour there, whatever. So inspirational. Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
It is. And particularly I love to grab the people that have never been. Those are because I don't want anyone to feel like they're not welcome here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because they've
It's the
not
last thing
been
you want,
welcome so many places that if I
Yes.
see anybody that's sitting alone, I'm like, oh, that's mine, kind of thing. My passion, it's just seeing people recognize that they're not the only person in the room. And that's been really remarkable. I talked to one woman last night and she said, I only know in my entire life. And I've been doing this. She was older than me. She was probably in her 60s. She goes, I only know three women surveyors in my entire career.
Yep.
And I'm like, you got three women surveyors like standing in line with you right now.
Yeah.
And there was another conversation that we were talking in line, and we were talking about aligning our chakras and stuff like that. And it was like, that would never happen at a men's event, kind of thing.
Might have been part of that
I think that's right.
conversation.
Yeah. But it's one of those, you just kind of get to be you.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily happen in other professional groups that we attend. So that's kind of.
Yeah. And what are you hoping that women that are here, whether it be the first time or for the fifth time, take away from this event?
I think it's just the community. I think knowing that there are other people to reach out to if something comes along. I don't know another place that I get to hug as many people as I do. And I'm a very huggy, touchy person. So these events always really fill me up. And I come back refreshed and renewed. And my boss, I mean, he's kind of like, whatever, go do your thing or whatever. But he knows every time I come back, I'm like alive. And I found a passion again, and I've got renewal. So I know that that's what it does for me.
Yep.
I can't imagine what it does for people that this is their first event.
Yeah.
I really do think it's life changing.
It is. Our first lady that we sponsored, Coral, is here.
That's right.
Yeah,
Adorable.
and this morning or last night, I can't remember what it was, and she's like, "Oh my God!" Like she reached out to me. What was that, 3 years ago or just over, and she's going, I don't know any other women. I'm in this chapter and there's no women. Do you know any others? And then the scholarship came up and she applied for that and got that. And last night she was like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have all of these connections now without that help sort of thing. And that's what it's about, helping others and getting people connected.
And just that, I mean, not that it was a small step, but just that one scholarship or whatever, and that her life has absolutely been changed. And then that she's also spreading that to anyone else that she touches.
Yeah.
And it's just
Snowballs, right?
It's just this
like
little spark that turned into this blazing inferno. And just
So
the
cool.
energy is just amazing.
Yeah. What after the event is over, how is this group able to stay in contact? Like, is there like a group text or something? I don't know what I'm thinking,
So
but
so we have a Facebook page that is a private page. And we always just try and keep it to ourselves. So certainly we have that, but we also have a group that is going to start, and I don't know what they're calling it. They're kind of a yearbook kind of thing or whatever that we're going to have, where you can put as much information as you want to share on there to be able to connect throughout the year. Because we all
awesome.
like get, you get someone calls you and says, I got a project in Utah, and I'm like, oh, we're not in Utah, but I know a woman in Utah. Let me get that. And already I have no idea how many people that I've pushed projects onto. And it's just, that's
awesome.
a great thing to do.
Yep.
So.
Help each other out. That's what it's all about. What else? What else should I get out there about the event or surveying in general?
I feel like, we have 3 days that we pack so much into, and we have so much fun. And when we get done, it is that huge, okay, but we are immediately jumping into where we're going next. I mean, it takes us a year to plan it.
Yep.
So we will immediately jump into where the next location is. I'm going to let Anna explain who that is, but we did kind of put, some of our next few that we're going to do. We were really, really excited about that. The one thing that we have been talking about, and that I'm going to ask these ladies later, is what happens when we want to go to Alaska, because our Alaska group is really, really wants to have us, but it's far.
That's far, right?
It's a day of travel. It's 3 days there. It's a day home. So it's 5 days for somebody to do that or whatever.
Yep.
So I really want us to plan for that. Like if we're going to set a date, let's set a date 5 years from now. And then we're going to do that. And we're going to set up scholarships for those who can't really afford to go do something like that.
Yep.
To really like make that happen and really ask this group and say, do you really want to do that?
Yeah.
Would you be involved to do that? Because I don't want to do a whole event in Alaska if there's 20 people.
Right. That's going to be a tough one to get to,
It's
like you
gonna
said.
be
Like Vegas is easy for
Easy,
everybody to get to.
absolutely. And,
Yeah,
and it's easy
perfect.
and everything. But I think it would
Yeah.
be really inspirational and really crazy and really a lot of fun to do. Alaska.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think that we all have to get on board and really make sure that that's a plan that we all want to go towards.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. To find out more, you
Yeah.
go to Future Surveyors website, right?
Yes.
So it's
futuresurveyors.org.
and then click on the Women's Surveyors Summit
Summit,
tab.
yes, yeah.
And that'll get you there. And like, I'm sure you guys are always looking for sponsors and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And so there's got to be plenty of ways for people to get involved.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Women's Surveyor Summit, that's our primary that we started with, but realize that it's not just that. That's also the minority group, and there's also
Yes.
the prison group that fall underneath there and all of that. So even though the foundation is there, it's to support all these subgroups. And we're here at the summit because this was where the baby began.
Yeah, yeah.
But all of these other groups are also forming, and it's a beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, we have allies, and we've got the minority group, and we've got some really great people in here. And I will say, just to kind of sum this up, this is the first time we had a man actually like put this together.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Trent.
Right. Yeah. And I was very hesitant
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had to be convinced that that was a good idea. Because that's the rudder's job, right?
Sure.
So, but he has really pulled it off and really is a great ally, and we all need allies.
Need
It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you're a woman, if you're, anybody, anyone in survey needs an ally to pull them up and pull them through. So,
Yeah.
I
Mentoring,
think
right?
That's great. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Heather, thank you. It's been a
Of course.
pleasure. Great to meet you.
Yes,
Congrats on another successful event.
it's been beautiful.
And we'll look forward to next year. All right. Thanks.